What is the greatest threat to our national security? I believe it's our dependence on oil, and not just foreign oil. This year, at current prices, we will import over $700 billion of oil into this country. Just think about it. In 10 years, that'll equate to $7 trillion. And that's at current prices. Believe me, prices will go up in the next 10 years. Boone Pickett has stated this is the greatest transfer of wealth the world has ever seen. And I agree. Why don't we put up signs on our beaches that say, United States for sale, price, oil. Getting off our dependence on oil needs to be done today, not tomorrow. Democrats and Republicans need to get an answer today, not tomorrow. Just like they've worked up something on this financial bailout package, whether you like it or not, they're going to hammer something out in about a week. Why can't we do the same thing with getting off oil? I believe we can. I believe it's possible. Newt Gingrich and the Republicans think they have the answer and have started a campaign called Drill Here, Drill Now. Guess what? As the author of The Truth Behind Gas Prices, and someone who studied this industry for the last 12 years, and as an independent Republican, you may be asking what an independent Republican is. Well, I'll get to that later. But as an independent Republican, I'm here to tell you that Drill Here, Drill Now will not lower your price at the pump, will not give America energy independence, will not stop the war on terror, or not even slow it down, and will not give us cleaner air and water. Why? Because you and I and Uncle Sam cannot force these big oil companies to drill more, to produce more, or to supply more. And let me give you some examples of not drilling or not producing. Oil companies hold 33,000 leases on public property in the United States, 33,000 leases. Of those 33,000 leases, oil companies have not even filed for a permit to drill on 98% of those leases. Then there's the Point Thompson field in Alaska, Sarah Palin's home state. The Point Thompson field is estimated to have 1 billion barrels of oil and 12 trillion cubic feet of natural gas. For 30 years, major oil companies, including Exxon Mobil, have failed to develop this field. Exxon Mobil has even paid a fine of $20 million for failure to perform promised work. The state of Alaska has revoked these leases, and now a court battle is in process between the state of Alaska and these major oil companies. Now, what about drilling in the Gulf? Here's what you hear in the press. 85% of the continental shelf, outer continental shelf, is off limits. Here's what you will not hear in the press. That there's still available 66 million acres that can be developed, that are available and can be developed. You also won't hear that this last August of 2008, 90% of the area that was brought up for lease, auction and lease, 90% of those didn't even receive a single bid. Not one bid on 90% of the area that was brought up for lease. Then there's always a strong probability that you'll see prices go up because either a perceived threat of a hurricane or the actuality that one comes in, just like you saw with Hurricane Ike. And by the way, oil companies love this. Why? Because they're going to make more money every time a hurricane comes in. Don't let them tell you any different. Our energy and oil problems are a lot deeper than drill here and drill now. The major force that will ensure that oil companies drill, produce, and supply more is a competitive market. What do I mean by a competitive market? Fully integrated oil companies make 75% of their earnings in the production or the buying of oil. 75%. The easiest and quickest way for them to make more money is to increase the price of a barrel of oil. You're seeing a lot of that this last year.